Corpbiz.
West Bengal's rapid industrial growth has placed a lot of strain on the environment. One of the major issues that the government is facing today is regularizing stone crushing operations in the state. The West Bengal Pollution Control Board functions as a statutory body for implementing environmental laws. For stone crushing activities, consent certificate is required under the red category as per the section 21 of the Water Act 1974, and no entity is permitted to operate a stone crushing unit without the previous consent NOC. In this video, we will understand how you can obtain this NOC in the state of West Bengal. Hello and welcome to Corpbiz. My name is Shalin and let's start the video. Over 12,000 stone crushing facilities are existing in India. A substantial amount of these stone crushing units are running in West Bengal, but as per the comprehensive industrial document on stone crushers, the exact number is unknown. In 2019, the NGT directed that stone crushing units must obtain prior environmental clearance from the State Environmental Impact Assessment Authority or SEIA, the agency that grants the EC in the state. The West Bengal Pollution Control Board released an order mandating that applications for EC in case of stone crushing units between 0 to 5 hectares will be dealt by the SEIA instead of the District Expert Appraisal Committee or the District Environmental Impact Assessment Authority. Any new and existing stone crushing unit that needs CTO will need to obtain EC from the SEIA under the EIA notification of 2006. The West Bengal Pollution Control Board checks the implementation status of the CTE provisions and then only grants the CTO after a site inspection. Now, to understand the applicable licenses and permits on stone crushing units that deals with minor minerals, we need to understand the process first. Crushed stones from these units are used as raw materials for construction activities such as building roads, highways, bridges, building canals, etc. These are crucial to the state. These minor minerals can include river sand, black stone, china clay, etc. The requirement for stone crushers is expected to rise further in light of the state's plan for constructing buildings, roads and canals necessary for the infrastructure development, infrastructure expansion, urbanization and housing developmental projects. In order to regularize this activity, the WBPCB strictly monitors the consent mechanism to determine whether the environmental laws and standards are being followed regarding the material used, emissions, effluents and waste discharges by the unit. Now let's come to the consent mechanism applicable on stone crushings that deals with minor minerals. First is consent to establish or CTE. CTE is a crucial tool for enforcing the conditions set forth in the environmental clearance. Therefore, after receiving the CTE from the board, the stone crushing units must submit the applications for consent to operate or CTO along with relevant documents to the board's OCMMS portal. Here, the applicant will also need to provide details like name of the product, monthly production volume, parameters with defined standards, sample frequency for effluent and air emissions, fuel type and quantity that is being used by the machineries installed. Now coming to the documents required. For consent NOC, the document list will include land related documents like rent agreement, receipt, land deeds and land lease documents, gross capital investment certificate in the form of self-certified undertaking, self-certified site plan with a road map or route map, a detailed project report with emission and effluent levels, solid waste management plan, application fees, test reports for effluent and emissions if applicable, and finally environmental clearance. The owner of the stone crushing unit must ensure that the prescribed environmental rules and requirements are being followed after the NOC certificate for CTE and CTO have been granted. The WBPCB will examine the application, the EMP report, site inspection results and the EIA report. They will determine whether the stone crushing facility conforms with the applicable environmental standards. The West Bengal Pollution Control Board will issue the consent certificate only if the conditions are satisfied. Now, as a part of compliance, the proponent must comply with the mitigation strategies outlined in the EMP and regularly keep the necessary documents and reports updated. Also, he must follow the WBPCB's established procedures for periodic CTO renewal. Now, it is essential to note that stone crushing activities are restricted in ecologically sensitive zones, protected areas such as sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, fragile riverbeds, etc. Therefore, establishing a stone crushing unit dealing with minor minerals, one must seek the assistance of environmental experts. Similarly, in the case of existing units operating with incomplete permits and approvals, guidance in the licensing process can benefit the unit to continue its operation and maintain the applicable industrial compliance. Therefore, for the smooth functioning of the stone crushing unit, the business owner needs to obtain CTE and CTO. I hope you found it informative. For more such details, you can also contact our experts from Corpbiz from the details shown below. That was all for today's video. Thank you for watching.